Hey guys, and welcome to Roblox Skilled Scripting tutorial number 12, which is about constraints. And what are constraints? Constraints are those things. And my game just got saved, so that's double awesomeness. So, what are constraints? As I said, all those things, but they like connect two parts some way that it's like um, it just connects two parts, to be honest. That explanation. So um, but how but they connect parts differently because there are a lot of those things. So yeah, I'm gonna show you all of them. So first of all, I'm gonna enter one part, and then yeah, and then I'm gonna just explain you why are there attachments or something. So the way how constraints work is really, well, I mean, maybe simple for some people, maybe not. So let's just take the ball socket constraint, and now we see that it has some properties. So first of all, we have color, and and that's not important, but the thing that is important first of all is attachment. So attachment 0 is the main part, and the main parts, I believe, first one, yes, first one, and then attachment 1, which is the secondary attachment, is attachments from the part 2. So yeah, as you can see, it draw a line which is like that. And if you are wondering attachments, if I click on it, it's not actually the part, but there is a thing that is inside the part, as you can see right there, that little ball. And if you are wondering, yes, it can be moved, but the part stays in one spot. So that's really cool, and you can customize this. You can make, like, I don't know, trapdoors, some moving parts, some platforming mini games, or I don't know. You can just be creative with that one. So now you need to not play but run, because I believe it's faster to run than play, and yeah, we'll see. And as you can see, it did something, definitely. So how does that work? Pretty much it like creates first part is the main part, as I said, and it's like second part actually spins around that part freely. And if we just go into the workspace and see the ball socket constraint, it has like things, for example, radius. So that's the radius, how much can it spin. And I can currently it doesn't have any limits, but if we set this, it actually cannot spin like below 45 or above 45 and stuff. So restitution, I'm not sure what it is. Let's see. You can just play around with values and eventually figure out. So yeah, if it's 0, it cannot rotate at all. If it's like 10, it could, but it doesn't do that. So yeah, ball socket constraint actually spins around one part, like so, as you saw before. Now we need to stop. So now let's try the hinge constraint. So I believe those images explain quite a lot, well, for some cases. So let's try the second one, and I'm gonna delete the first one. Alright, we are back, but I'm not sure what just happened. Well, I may think that, oh, Please don't tell me it did not save. Yeah, that sucks. Apparently it did not save because it crashed, and that is really weird. So we need to reset everything. So I'm just gonna be right back. So I mean, this should be enough. I'm gonna add more constraints later, but yeah, now let's try the hinge constraint, and I believe I need to delete it because that may cause some problems because it's double attachments attached to double things, and that may be the bad idea to do this. So yeah, we have again attachment 2, attachment 1, and now we need, as you can see, it has a couple things. Again, limits, radius that it can rotate, but it's not like ball constraint. It like well, I'll just gonna show you. And now actuation, can't even pronounce that. Actuator type, something like that. So yeah, this probably does something interesting. I mean, it should. And yeah, as you can see, we have all those things. Motor, from velocity, as you can see, it has all those interesting things that you can just play around. And yeah, but now we just want the basic stuff, so we can just run, and as you can, oh, I believe I need to anchor one part because it may cause some problems. For example, like this one, just like it just I don't know, it just becomes one part or something, and that's weird, of course. So yeah, as you can see, we just pause it like that simply, and yes, it still spins, but it spins on the other axis for some reason. Yeah, that's quite weird. So let's see. Come on, just open the workspace. And this, yeah, it pretty much does the same thing. And yes, those constraints are pretty darn similar. You are right, and you can just get the one that you like most. So I'm just gonna raise it a bit, and test the third constraint, which is prismatic one. And now we need first of all, that has to be attachment 0, attachment 1. I mean, attachment 0 has to be from the part number 1, or named 1, I guess. Wait, is that right? Yes, probably. Oh, also, that's pretty cool. It just shows you full name. I think it wasn't this. I think it's a new thing. Pretty sure, maybe. So, as you can see, this one does something interesting. It creates like a corner where they both connect. And let's see, well, attachments themselves have some properties like axis, secondary axis, and those world axes, and you can rotate them like so. And then orientation, I think orientation and those axes are related, and position is pretty much offset from the part. And parents, well, that's obvious. Parent is obvious, of course. So we have couple properties. Well, nothing too interesting again. Sizes like thickness of the line, it doesn't really matter, just for your convenience. And I can just increase it like so. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it just makes the line thicker. I think. Yeah. Or maybe not a line, but those balls or dots. Wait, is there? Like, no. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't have like properties that are different from the hinge constraint, and it probably does kind of the same thing. Kind of. Well, I mean, it can be incorrect maybe, but it just should just go into this dot, at least one of them, because this one is not anchored. And this constraint is quite useful for like making similar things. Oh, yeah, I think this was relative to that one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you mean what you see what I mean about the size? It doesn't really matter, but it makes things inconvenient. So yeah, it does something like this, just a couple blocks, and I don't know, you can just play around yourself. But I'm gonna test them just like so, and I hope I don't crash my game, because that would be bad, of course. So now we have a rod constraint, and this is it's probably used to make like swings or something, but it's not like rope. It like connects to things that can rotate on rotate by the same distance. Well, you will see what I mean. Sometimes it's hard to explain actually. So yeah, let's just make up I think this should be like that, and this should be like that. Yeah, I did a mistake, but now we have a rod, and as you can see there is like directions, couple directions, nothing too interesting. And now we have thickness, well, and that's pretty much same as size, and it doesn't really matter because people don't see it. And if you don't see it for some reason, you just press view. Those lines, if you don't see those lines and dots, you press view, and then it should be a thing, or not view, in this model. So constraints, this window, and show details, and you can create them actually like so. That's all those constraints, and there are like I don't know how. Oopsie. I don't know how to call them add-ons on constraints, something like that. They all are like also similar, and there is attachment obviously, so that's a bit more convenient like that. And you don't need to press that right click and then insert object and look around for constraint that you want, and that way is probably easier or faster maybe, because there are only constraints. So yeah, never mind. Now we need to check out the rod constraint. So we have the attachment, so rod length, and that's the thing, and we can just increase or decrease it like so, and those cursors also get decreased like that. And I think that rod length is probably like it's getting closer, I believe. Yes, it does. And current distance, yeah, is sometimes useful, I know, maybe. And thickness, nothing too interesting here, but we just need to play or run. So yeah, like so. As you can see, it just went like that really nicely, and that's sometimes quite useful to make those things just wing. I know, just make it wings that you can just sit on it and swing. Obviously. So yeah, that's this type of constraint is really similar to another one. Well, also I want to mention that constraints are new things. Well, not as new as some things, but they are like newer things, or just a later version of I don't really know how were they called before. Welds, or I think there were welds, or I don't know, can't remember. Also, I probably did not even knew about such thing as Roblox when they were a thing. So yeah. Now we need to look around and insert this. Well, I mean, I can just press the model and create like that. Where is this? Rope one. So, oh, that's convenient. So just ask me to how to make those like attachments. Yeah, that's really useful. And yeah, you can use it. I think it's more convenient that way, to be honest. And now I'm just gonna do the old-fashioned way. Like that, just insert the rope constraint. Simply just because I didn't wanna ruin all those attachments. So yeah, again, same properties. Attachment 1 R0 goes here, attachment 1 goes into part 2, and yeah, we have a line, but now this line can be like freely, like it can stretch I think, and it can do all kinds of stuff. So first of all, I wanna cancel this somehow. Can I cancel you? Please, I want to cancel you. Why? Well, that's weird. Or, well, that's in fact weird. Why can't I cancel you? Come on. I just wanna cancel. Nah, never mind. Or I think that's a tool, so I can just press any tool. Yeah, it does work. Like that, and just show details, because I want to see that thing. So rope constraint, as I said, it can like stretch, it can retract, it can be distance from the other part. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain those constraints actually. So I'm just, oh, whoopsie, oops, I'm under the base plate. Yeah, that's not good. We want to be near the parts, not the big split. So now we can run, not play, but run, like so. So as you can see, it works actually pretty same way, pretty much the same way. Well, but it's a bit different, but also similar. So yeah, we just need to press this, and yeah, as you can see, there is rope thingy, kind of, and you can just make a length of it kind of bigger, like that. And as you can see, it creates rope like that, but in normal circumstances it's not visible unless you make it like, I don't know, somehow visible. But yeah, also it's a bit laggy, and if we make it shorter and long again, it should create like this, and it just slowly falls. However, with the rod constraint, it just quickly gets to that distance. So yeah, and restitution, not sure what it is also. Let's see, if we make 1 and then 10, I mean, makes things bouncy. Yeah, I think that's what it does. Oh, I think it makes the constraint a bit stretchy, or elastic, like I know, piece of rubber band. Well, you see what I mean exactly, like right there. so it's just gonna bounce forever unless you did like 0.5. Oh, that's not the right way to do this. You need comma 5, and now it should slow down eventually. Yeah, as you can see it does. So you can make pretty realistic things with it, and that's cool, obviously. And now I'm gonna show you the next one, which is not sure. Let's see. Also, if you didn't notice, object browsers, objects are not object browsers, but insert object things are in the alphabetical order, and that is sometimes cool. And as you can see, there are quite like a bit less public things, I guess, that you can access only via this, or you can write instance that new. Because I never saw in the those tabs how you can get it. I don't know, maybe you can in the model section or something. Not sure. Again, let's see. Spring constraint. So, I mean, that should be quite similar to the row constraint, but it springs more probably. I mean, it should be similar to the rope constraint with a huge restitution thingy, and as you can see, it's not straight. It creates like the spiral-ish thingy, and it's not perfect. It's like a bit blocky and stuff. That's because Roblox makes it like, I don't really know how it does that, but it creates a new array, and then just makes things around it. I don't really know how, but I'm sure that it uses the array casting. I think it's called array casting, and I think I'm gonna make a tutorial about it later, but not now, obviously, because it's other tutorial right now. So we have max force, obviously, which is really big. I mean, really big number, which is 308, I believe, digits long. Not sure, something like that. And Lua recognizes this as infinity or math.huge. I think I told you before this. Math.huge, this one. And the huge value larger than or equal to any other numerical value. So it's not equal to anything, and it's larger than anything. So yeah, and stiffness, let's see, does it change anything if I just do 1 or 10? Nope. Pre-length, damping, yeah, there are quite a lot of properties, a bit more. Radius, so I think it's something with stretching. Oh no, it's something with this like this curved spiral line, and you can just customize it, yeah, make things a bit cooler like that. Yes, I know that's weird, so I cannot just decrease to, I mean, 0 is probably a straight line. Yes, exactly. And I don't know. I'm just gonna make it comma 0 1 or comma 1 like that. And yeah, just to make it just a little bit spiral. And now thickness. Again, you can just customize it. That's just customization. And coils, you can make more coils. Just make it more nice. Well, I mean, max coils are 8. Radius maybe 1. And just you can see it's a bit more spiral-ish, I guess. Now, I mean, you can just run it and see it retract, because force is equal to infinity, at least according to Lua, and it doesn't do anything. Why is that so? let's see, spring constraint. Let's see, why is this, wait, does this actually do anything? I mean, nah, it doesn't do anything. Of course, limits. Oh, I mean, yeah, there are limits. I think if you don't enable that, it just makes it like so. And yeah, it just makes it retract. And otherwise, you can, you know, you can make it bouncy and stuff. You can make it 10, and then change it to 5, and then make it a bit bouncy-ish. So free length 0 maybe, and then it makes things something. Stiffness doesn't do anything. Well, I mean nothing that I can see, and yes, it just like works like a spring again, but not the season, the actual object, which is called spring, or as people call thing. So yeah, that's the spring constraint. Now we need to see the which one, which is I think the last one is well constraint. Yeah, that's the last one. So yeah, we have weld bars. I think it works like welding. I also think that I'm gonna make a video about welds, and if you are wondering, there is thingy. Wait, why does this not work? Yeah, I'm not sure why does this not work. Wait, yeah, it should work. It definitely should. I'm pretty sure this doesn't work for some reason. Why? Well, if I disable you, will you work then? Nope. Still no. I mean, it's something similar to manual weld. And yes, there is such thing as manual weld, but you don't see it in the workspace or anything else, because if you do any changes to the part, it pretty much destroys itself. Yes, and as you can see, there is no such thing as manual weld. So banana, what are you talking? You're stupid. Well, I mean, I can just show you. You can just write instance dot new. Of course, I misspelled it. So yeah, wait. Let's see. Like that, and watch, it's non-existent because Roblox changed it. Nah, I'm pretty sure it is still. So yeah, we have this, of course, manual bar, not manual, but command bars pretty much used to just execute commands like this one line. It has only one line, but you can make really long commands for this, and it also works. So yeah, as you can see, manual weld, there is such thing, obviously. And now we need just to delete this, and as you can see, it has part 0 and part 1, and it has a couple hidden properties, for example C0 and C1. So that's pretty much the C frame of it, and it needs part. I'm blind again, so I mean it's similar still. I think if you just make it like so, it still attaches them and makes them attached to it, and yeah, it should stay still, pretty sure. Yes, they are still, and as you can see, where manual weld is still here, right there, and it makes parts to be to actually be like connected, but it doesn't move them at all. It just makes relative to part 0, which is in this case this one, and if we move it, it either destroys it or I'm not sure. yeah, it just gets destroyed like so. Now about this small constraint again, because I'm blind and I don't see that it's start, not attachment. I don't know why I did not see that. So yeah, it should do the same thing, but it shouldn't destroy itself. Let's see. I mean, let's run. So yeah, it still holds in the place. I mean, if I delete you, it should still stay in the place. Oh, never mind then. It didn't work for some reason. Why? Why does this not working? Either I have no idea how does this work, or something else. Probably I have no idea how does this work. So it should just connect this to something. I mean, or just need to touch it. Just have to touch it. Let's see. It's touching it, and I saw the join thingy, and now it should work. I mean, it's pretty much welded. Wait, let's see. Let's just lift them up and see if they break up or stay together, I guess. Lol. I'm confused. I'm actually... Oh. I think they are staying together because they are connected, and yes, as you can see, it just stays together, and oh, it's so laggy. So laggy. Come on, just go below like that. And now at the side, yes, as you can see, it just stays together. And one is anchored, which is the main one, part 0, and other one is not anchored. So yeah, we have to touch it. We have to touch together, and if we release it, it just stays together. Okay, the more you know. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial, because obviously there are no more welds. I mean, not welds, but constraints. And I don't think I'm gonna show you all those add-ons, as I said, or more like as I like to call them. Those things: align orientation, position, vector force, line force. I can explain you. Let's start from the bottom. Not the attachment, because I showed you about attachments, but torque. Torque is like something like motor has. It just constantly spins, and you can just achieve probably the same thing with velocity, or you can just make a loop which changes the orientation to something in script, I mean. Now where's the next one? The next one is line force. So line force is just like there's one part, there's another part. We don't have to be like anchored or unanchored, and it just gets attracted to one part. I mean, first part gets a secondary part, I mean, gets attracted to another, and it just goes with as much force as you enter it in the property, and it just bam, just boom, it just gets like touched, and you know, you can make it like throw laser beams at you which are attracted to you, and they are actually parts that if you touch them you just get killed or something. Now we have vector force. So line force and vector force are different. Line force is continuous, it doesn't get like disturbed by any parts that are in the way, and vector force gets obstructed or just distracted, not distracted but disturbed if there is part in the way, and that just stops. Align position orientation, not sure. Again, I haven't used them at all. So, I mean, you can just set it. I think it's like something, let's see. So, yeah, probably position is just makes position relative to that attachment that is right there. Makes parts position just relative, I guess. So yeah, voice cracks. So we have align orientation, that's something similar to position but with rotation. In fact, the other word for rotation. Again, there were updates on Roblox Studio, and before it was rotation, now it's orientation. So yeah, and yeah, wait, I just need to click it. But there is no like orientation velocity. There is still rotation velocity. So yeah, just saying. And I think that's like really it 100%. And I hope you guys enjoyed this really long tutorial, which took me like 40 minutes to record. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.